and it gives the best driving position. The steering wheel feels just right. The dials look just right. The radio sits nice and high on the dash. It's very simple to use. Whilst the gear lever is fit for a racing car. The MG does have one big advantage. It's got 4 doors and the biggest boot. If practicality is what mattered most, the MG may well be the winner. But these cars aren't about practicality, they're about performance. What we need is a race. And for a race, we need racing drivers. In the Honda Formula 3000 champion Justin Wilson. Trying to get the Renault on the road, it's former British rally champion Mark Higgins. And I'll be driving the MG. So, who gets pole position? Well, the Renault is the cheapest of the 3, so that deserves a head start. While the Honda's penalised for charging over £1,200 for aircon. Back you go. And all that space offered by the MG has to count for something, and it does. The ZS takes pride of place at the front of the grid. 3 laps will decide the winner. Hey, we've got him. This is going to be a VTEC.
Come on, come on.
The MG conversion has transformed the staid Rover 45 saloon into one of the best handling front-wheel drive machines on the market. Its torquey 2.5-litre V6 punches out 175 horsepower, and its only real disadvantage here is its weight. Keeping the more nimble Clio behind me was not going to be easy.
Starting to close up onto him now. Just got in there, I think.
Oh, he's moved it up! I hit him!
He's got a bit of a nug there.
It was his fault. He moved over and braked right in front of me. The Renault's superior power-to-weight ratio was simply too much for the MG to resist on the straight. But through the turns, the once class-leading hatchback struggles with excessive understeer. But while I was looking to retake the lead, I forgot about the Civic now looming large in my mirrors.
I'm going to have you. Come in. I'm going to have you now.
No! Civic's got such good brakes. And Justin's one of the best overtakers in the business, but... Right, now we're in trouble. 1 lap to go, he's pulling away. And pulling up to the Clio.
Now I've got the Honda coming back up through. He's all over me like a rash now.
Come on now.
Using all their own, he's getting real close.
The Honda may be roughly the same weight as the MG, but its 2-litre VTEC power plant provides an extra 22 horsepower, which, combined with its close ratio 6-speed gearbox, gives it that racing edge. And a 0 to 60 time half a second quicker than the Clio. Game over. Nice one, Justin. The Clio is beaten, and the new king is the Honda Civic Type R.
Look out! Now, you must look where you're going. And it's no good thinking you can have a sleep. Or eat your breakfast out there, because you'll soon find yourself in trouble.
Originally, commercials would very often be cinema adverts or printed publicity, but then as television technology developed and we all started to get TV sets in our front rooms, then we moved on to road safety commercials on television.
You get a nice, orderly queue of traffic. And there's always some road hog tries to jump it. It's enough to give you blood pressure.
In 1961, Tufty clubs were created, and across the country, local clubs were formed where children could get more involved in Tufty and learn more about road safety, particularly as pedestrians.
Very good. So remember, always use a safe place when we cross the road.
Whenever you cross the road, use the green cross code.
It was probably more difficult to cross the road in the 70s. You know, having to make your way across in kipper ties and bell-bottom flares was probably quite hazardous, really.
Hey, you must be out of your tiny minds.
The Alvin Stardust one seems particularly ridiculous now. You know, I don't know whether anybody would take road safety advice from someone who looks like a cross between Shakin' Stevens and the Grim Reaper. And that Joe Bugner one, I think he terrified the kids.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Come back here.
Cross the road properly, or I'll beat the out of you.
Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
Kevin Keegan at the time was a really good character to front this kind of campaign because he was the hero footballer and so on, and everybody looked up to him. And he had that big, indestructible 70s hair, which was, I think that type of hair was the forerunner to the airbag.
It's part of the Green Cross Code. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
I don't think Kevin Keegan could come back and do one now.
Because, you know, he'd just probably, you know, cross the road, get halfway, give up and come back again. People recognise celebrities and they listen to what they say. The example of Jimmy Savile is a perfect one.
It's not a joke. It's just a little device to get you to remember to fasten your seat belts with every trip. Clunk, that's the car door. Click, that's the seat belt. So it's clunk, click, every trip.
The guy that was doing it, he said, right, there's only one fella for this. It's Jim, because people believe him, and we'll be home and dry if we get hold of Jim.
400 of you will be injured in your cars tomorrow. You'll be within 6 miles of home and doing less than 30.
And it's going to happen to a lot of you ladies. You'll be shopping, collecting the kids, going to the laundrette. For some of you, the face you'll start out with in the morning